everyone, and welcome to our 2021-22 Club Leadership Education Training, Day 3 of 6 days of fun and learning all about Kiwanis. So, but before we go any farther, I want to share with you, fresh off the Kiwanis press, that I'm so happy to announce that we just organized a new club today over in Prescott Valley, Arizona. And I see Miles Kastner over there. Hi, Miles. He's a remember, and he has joined the Prescott Valley Club also. So and today we organize, and organizing means for a lot, to let you know what organizing a new club means is that we voted on our club bylaws. We elected new officers and directors to our new club, along with agreeing on a meeting location and a time. Now we need to get 6 more members, and then we will be chartered as a brand new club in the Southwest District. So if any of you, yay, everybody, all right. That's just to show you all that we're climbing out of this pandemic, and there are people and there are communities that need Kiwanis, and that, and they stand with Kiwanis, and they want to see Kiwanis in their communities. And it was really a great time today because the excitement was in the air. We had a very good, as I say, electrical charge throughout the whole thing. It was great when you're in with a group of people and we all are on the same page. It's really a great feeling. So I'm looking forward to be able to introduce this brand new club to everyone that is being sponsored by the Prescott Club. And I really think we're going to probably be chartering this by the end of July, I would think. Wouldn't you think, Miles?
Yeah, I feel like the momentum is on its way. So once people start coming back from their vacations, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Excellent. Fantastic, everybody. So without further ado, I would like to go ahead and throw over the Zoom meeting over to our, what are you, Ken, again? You're the Executive Director of the Southwest District.
That's
Ken
good.
Carley. So if you haven't met Ken, now's your chance, and keep a great relationship with him because he knows everything about Kiwanis. Take it away, Ken.
All right. Thank you, Governor Tony. Hey, I got your name right today.
Yeah.
I called you Governor Don yesterday. But at any rate, I'm going to do a very quick presentation about something that will be happening on October 1st. New member fees are going to be prorated. Okay. There we go. Let me get my little mouse where I want it to be. There we go. So beginning October 1st, new member fees are going to be prorated. And I need to reiterate this a couple of times. This modification is only going to affect Kiwanis International and Southwest District new member fees. This change will not affect local club fees. Okay. So for an example, some of your clubs charge $25, $35, $45 for a new member. Give them a pin, give them a hat, give them shirts, whatever. This does not affect this. You may continue to do this. This change is only going to affect Southwest District and Kiwanis International fees. So if a member were to join, let's say he joined yesterday because I forgot to update the date to today. Let's say the member joined today, they would owe $65. $50 goes to Kiwanis International, $15 stays with the Southwest District. Okay. And then plus your local club fees, like you charge your $25, $35, whatever it is. But beginning October 1st, a new member will pay Kiwanis International and Southwest District dues on a prorated schedule. Local club new member fees are at your club board's discretion. Okay. And just to make sure everybody's on the same page, our Kiwanis year runs from October 1st through September 30th. Okay. Right now, all of us on October 1st, we owe International and Southwest District $117. $52 goes to Kiwanis International for dues. fees. $17 is the insurance and the magazine fee. $40 is the Southwest District. Local club fees are in addition to this $117. My club in Santa Fe charges $185. So it's, we charge an extra, what is it, $65, something like that. But beginning October 1st, 2021, a new member joining your club will owe prorated member fees based on the month they join. So if a new member joins in October, they're going to owe 12/12 of the membership fee, or they owe $117 for the whole year. Let's say they join in November. They're going to owe 11/12. The member fee for them, 11/12, is $107.25. They join in December, $97.50. Let's say they joined here in June. There's 4 months left in our year. They're going to owe 4/12, or they owe $39 for the rest of the year. They join in September. They owe 1/12 of the member fee, $9.75. Don't forget, this only affects Kiwanis International and Southwest District membership fees. Local club fees remain at the discretion of the club board. The clubs will continue to be billed by Kiwanis International. Annual member fees must be paid by November 30th. New member fees are due to Kiwanis International 30 days after they're entered into the secretary dashboard. I am going to have a separate room on Saturday because we're doing all our classes again on Saturday. I'm going to have a separate breakout room for anybody that has any questions about this, wants to discuss it, wants to know the reasoning, any of that stuff. I will spend both hours on Saturday in my own breakout room, mostly because Governor Don and Governor Tony just don't want to deal with me anymore. They kick me into my own breakout room. But hey, I'll answer whatever questions they are. There's my phone number. There's my email address. And a little bit of housekeeping. To receive credit for tonight's meeting, please type your name, club, and division, if you know what it is, into the chat box. And keep your microphone muted while Marco is speaking. And that will just eliminate background noise. You guys not know how that is, but just keep you muted and everybody's happy. So with that, thank you very much, Governor Tony.
Thank you, Ken. And as of right now, before I introduce tonight's presenter, I would like to give a few minutes to our current governor, Don Townsend, who is on the Zoom meeting also. And without his leadership, we would not be having such a successful second half of our Kiwanis year. So, Governor Don, could you speak to the troops, please?
Okay, I'll keep it real short because I know I don't want to impose on Marco. We're trying to form a club down here in Benson. So far, we've got great newspaper coverage, but we haven't anybody sign up yet. So I'm trying to shoot like Tony for have the Benson Club chartered by the end of July. So I kind of like the way Tony did his in Prescott. He and Matt. Benson's a great place, a lot of great people. We briefed the city council on Monday. I've got a meeting with my team on the 29th to meet the school superintendent and the educators. So that'll be a key day for us. I want all you guys to know my entire team is made up of women. I briefed City Hall. I talked for about a minute and gave the rest of the time to the ladies because they were talking about the SLPs. And then I went back up and closed it out. So we're working hard to try to open another club in Benson. And Tony and them did a great job. So I'm trying to follow on in their footsteps. And I'm glad to be here tonight. I missed the last two nights because I've been in Benson the last two nights. So Marco will do a good job, I'm sure. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Governor Don. And tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for tonight, presenter, and it's Marco Cato from El Paso. And I must admit, Marco's a great, fantastic Kiwanian. I've known Marco for years. And every time that we've asked Marco for something to do for the district and for Kiwanis, he has always stepped up. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Marco Cato to do our treasurer education. Thank you, Marco.
So let me start sharing screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen, please. And I don't want you to see my calendar, obviously. Great.
Well,
I
Michael's
go
doing
into-
that. I'll just tell everybody that I've learned so much working with KI, that I work with so many clubs and so many people throughout the world, that I actually found out the difference between people who live in Dubai and from people who live in Abu Dhabi. I found out that the people who live in Dubai do not like the Flintstones, but the people in live in Abu Dhabi do. Hey, you can't get a winner from all of them. So,
My name is Marco. I am from Mount Franklin, El Paso. This is Division 6. I've been a member since 2012. I was president 2016 to 2017 and 2017 to 2018. I was elected lieutenant governor under Don Levine 2018, 2019. I continued with Governor Harry 2019 to 2020. And I am currently still continuing with Governor Don 2020, 2021. I am also on the foundation board. I believe this is my third year. It doesn't feel like third year, but I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. And surprise, surprise, you guys are going to be surprised. You guys are one of the first ones to check this out. So here we go. Next one, Governor-elect Tony. And this is what he sent me, and this is what his logo is going to be. And this is a preview proof. This is not what's the ultimate one going to be. And again, I don't know, but this is what he sent me. So this is what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover your responsibility as a treasurer. We're going to cover member dues, club accounts, reports, files and audits, and IRS requirements. So, club treasurer. This is
a double screen. We're getting a double screen.
I have double screens.
I have two slides. So
If you go to full screen or presentation mode, it should make just your presentation pages.
No, that's not it. All right, let's start this again.
In your share screens, you will have to open the presentation mode.
You know, I don't really have two screens, but it's thinking that I do have two screens, and I apologize, guys. I'm actually tech savvy, and this one right here is killing me because I have to look at my other laptop and then my screen at the same time. So, it's a good thing that this is a short presentation, by the way. It's not a very long presentation, which is good. All right, so how do I soft screen? There you go. That's better. Can you see that better now?
I see only shares. I see only Marco El Paso.
You guys, you can't see me toggle through the presentation?
I just see Marco El Paso.
We don't see nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. hold
Marco,
on.
you're on the black screen with just your name, so we're not seeing your video at all.
We're just seeing
Marco,
Give me 1 second.
why don't you just do the screen share that you did? It's okay that we see your presentation slides. I mean, it's no big deal. And you just go that way because we can get that to work for us.
All right. Let's see.
If you're good with that.
Hurry up, Marco. Tony will tell another joke.
there.
Oh, geez, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go down your
I'll hurry.
screens, yeah.
I'll hurry. I'll hurry.
No, don't worry about it.
That one worked. Go ahead and do it.
yeah, this is good. Oh, there we go.
Is that better? Is that better?
yeah.
All right.
Well,
It's fine.
It works. It works for us. We're good. We're good.
Okay. All right, so we went through these. So this right here is your main responsibility, along with the club board. You are responsible for collecting and distributing your club's funds and maintaining financial accurate records. Now, if you see this on the bottom here, if you have your leadership guides, I went through this guide and I kind of referenced it, so that's where we are right now. So one of the first questions that everybody asks to the treasurer, what are our member dues? And these are what they are. Ken already went through these a little while ago. $52 to international, $40 to the Southwest District, $25 to other, which is insurance and magazines. Total $117. Now, every club has the option to set dues and fees that are retained by the club. These cover meals, these cover hats, these cover pins. This is completely set by your club. So these are the exceptions to these dues. So if you are married to another Kiwanian and they live in your home, you can decline the magazine. The magazine is actually something that you cannot decline. It's mandatory. You have to pay for it. However, if you are married to another Kiwanian, you can waive that, and it's an $8 waive. So that's where you save some money. The other exception is new member. If he or she is an alumni of an SLP, the KR dues are waived for 2 years. Now, Ken, step in here. Is it only KI or is it the district as well?
Okay, so the SLP member will have Southwest District and Kiwanis International dues waived. They do have to pay the $25. The magazine and the insurance does have to get paid, but the 52 and the 40 are waived. So you have $92 gets waived.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, your club will be invoiced based on the club roster on or after October 10th. This 10-day window, because we know that October 1st is the first day of Kiwani's financial, year, allows the secretary to adjust for new members. Invoices will be mailed to your club the last week of October, first week of November. They are due 30 days after that. If you choose to pay online, the treasurer, president, and secretary, sometimes assistant secretary, will have access to the finance tab when logging onto the Kiwanis org site. So if your club decides to pay online, speak to Kent. He has to set that up for you. I know my club pays with hard check because we have 2 accounts, and we'll get to 2 accounts later. Note, all fees are due all at once. So if your club chooses to bill members on a monthly or quarterly basis, make sure that you plan ahead to ensure your cash flow. Very important. This is very important. This has happened to us a while back, but we kind of figured that one out. Remember, your fees are due all at once to KI, not monthly. All right, so this is where I think I made a mistake, Kent, and we'll just go through this. As of October 1st, Kent went through this already. If you remember, and the magazine, I went with $109, not with $117. So I thought, Ken, that the magazine is not prorated, but I think you said that it is.
Correct. Everything. The
you step in here.
The $117 will be prorated. So they're going to throw everything into one pot and prorate that.
Okay. So that is a mistake here that you see right here. The magazine is not prorated. It is. So you're 117. This here would be 117 versus 109. So what Kent showed you earlier, that's what it is. This is how basically the mathematics behind it. If your club joins in December to September is 10 months. 10 divided by 12 by 8.33, 8.33 times 117 in this case, not 109 would be whatever the mathematics is. This is how you would prorate your member dues and fees. Keep in mind that should be 117. I was mistaken by saying that the magazine is not prorated, but they're going to prorate the entire 117. When I say the entire 117, I'm talking about this 117 right here. I think I read something wrong. All right, so let's talk about your club accounts. When I say accounts, I mean checking accounts. So we have two accounts. Let's talk about the first one, club accounts. The first one is an administrative account. This account, you receive income from your dues and memberships, meals, if applicable, and assessments. Ken, help me out. What are assessments? I took this right out of the leader guide.
The easiest way to think about this is any money that is raised by a Kiwanis member. So
Thank you.
dues, fees, whatever.
Okay, so at administrative accounts, keep that in mind. We're going to have two. We'll go through the next one. Dues, membership fees, meals, and what Ken just said. So this income will cover KI district dues and conventions, both Southwest District and international. Club programming expenses, if applicable, magazine, meals, and insurance, liability insurance. This is your administrative account. There's two distinct accounts, and you have to know which accounts you have to use to pay for what you have to pay for as a treasurer. They're very, very, very distinct. Next one is called a service account. So your income from your service accounts would be any fundraising projects that you have and members that raise money in their projects. Let me give you an example of what we do in El Paso, in my club specifically. We have a flag posting program. We go out to neighborhoods, post flags on their property for the five flag holidays. We use that and we deposit that into our service account. So that is money that is coming in for that. The other thing that I want to put out that I did not put here, I'm sorry. If you have raffles, make sure you get with Ken because there are some rules about raffles and making money off of raffles. Your secretaries and your presidents know about this, but you need to know as well. So your club accounts, your money going out of your service accounts are for your club service activities. In other words, whomever you sponsor, like El Paso sponsors the one of the food banks in El Paso here. We provide money after we go and raid their cafeteria. That's where it comes from. Charitable, educational, religious activities, expenses associated with Kiwanis SLPs. So this means that if you have an SLP that you sponsor, this is where the money comes out of. Club leadership education, district education events, and the Kiwanis Education Conference. So anything that's Kiwanis related comes out of here on all of your club service activities. So the difference between these two are going to be basically your KI events or your South District events, your meals that are for your club specific. If they're for your club, they're going to come out of your administrative account. If they are for service, they are going to come out of your service account. Very simple to distinguish when you really think about what that expense is. I'm telling you, this is quick. Anybody want to chime in? I can say some jokes, or even Tony can say some jokes because we're going to go through this quick. Tony? No, all right. Okay. Again, page 44, if you're following with the Kiwanis Leadership Guide, page 44. Accounting systems. All accounting systems differ. When we mean accounting systems, we mean Excel, QuickBooks, Accounting Suite, InfoCloud, whichever you choose. Now, at the end of this PowerPoint, there's going to be website that you can go to, and you can get your treasurer's accounting system that has already been created. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already been done for you. And that is a very good source to get a lot of information, a lot of workbooks. There's a lot of information there that will help you, especially if you're a new treasurer. Now, seeing how our district is not very new, I think we're relatively a little bit older, and I'm not meaning in age, I'm talking about the district itself. We have taken on, what's the word I'm looking for? Inherited an accounting system from the previous treasurer, and that works just fine. Don't reinvent the wheel. If you want to reinvent the wheel, go to Kiwanis.org and I'll show you the website at the end. Whichever system you use, it does not matter which one you use. Make sure that you can identify sources of income and distributions. You can create reports. You can bill members off of that, and you can report member financial standing. Member financial standing means whether they pay their dues and fees. The other thing that is very important, very, very important, you have to have an annual audit of both of your accounts. Both of your accounts, meaning these here, your service accounts, and your administrative accounts. You have to have an audit on them. Annual audits is required by the club's bylaws. The audit may be completed by a club committee or a qualified accounting firm. Now, this is very important for you guys to know. If your club chooses to audit by committee, the treasurer cannot serve on that committee. Very important for you to know that. As you as a treasurer, as the incoming treasurers or remaining treasurers or ongoing treasurers, that audit has to be done by somebody else completely unrelated to you. Very important.
Question
Right.
on that,
Everybody-
if I may. It used to be, and perhaps this has changed, which would be interesting, that nobody on your board or any officer can serve on that review committee. Is that still the case, or is it only the treasurer?
So I believe the bylaws specifically exclude the treasurer, but local club policies can be stricter than that. And there are many local clubs that do hold a higher, stricter standard.
So that's where it is. KI says your treasurer cannot be on that committee. If your club, this is just a recommendation and just an idea. If your club has a lot of activity, a lot of financial activity, the recommendation is to have an external auditor do this. But this has to be done on an annual basis.
Marco, this is Barbara
We'll go through.
Catskill.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi. Do you mean a review or do you really mean an audit?
No, so it specifically says audit. However, you can define audit in a different way. Ken, I know you were going to say something.
So Barbara is speaking in the strict CPA terms, and there is a very distinct difference between an audit and a review. The bylaws say review, but what Marco said just now is exactly correct. No, the bylaws say audit. Apologize. They say audit. What Marco said is exactly correct. It can be a review.
Thank you.
And that's for the CPAs out there who will use the strict definition of audit.
Yeah, that's very true. I work in a blood bank, so I know all about audits, and they are very strict, and they actually turn out to be reviews, but that's not going either there. All right, files and records. If you guys can follow on page 45, I took little bits and chunks of it. There's a lot of stuff that has to be kept. Obviously, checkbooks. You're going to have 2 checkbooks if you have 2 accounts. Bank statements and reconciliation records, invoices and cash deposit receipts, and of course, your monthly treasurer's report, which we'll have a little statement here at the end. At the end of the fiscal year, you should pass this on to the new treasurer. We talked about this yesterday. Note, treasurer's reports are going to be part of the minutes, which is recorded by the secretary. Those minutes have to be kept indefinitely. Financial reports are to be kept for 7 years. So if you guys have financial reports and old checkbooks and old bank statements and old anything from the 1980s, you do not have to keep those. Minutes, however, have to be kept forever. They're indefinite records. They have to be kept forever because of the way we incorporate it. Keep that in mind. You don't have to have 10,000 boxes of financial records and say, we have to keep this. Financial records only have to be kept for 7 years. However, if you have been the treasurer for 7 years, you can throw them away. But, you know, if you guys change treasurers every year or every other year, you're going to have to, unfortunately, inherit those records and figure out how you're going to pass them on to the next person when you move on as treasurer. 7 years, 7 years for financial records. That's what we have to keep. Okay, so you guys may have already gone through this, but this is the way it's written down. The treasurer, president, other leaders of the club will work together to prepare the upcoming annual budget. Annual budgets must be completed by October 1st, no later than the 15th of October, simply because the incoming board has to vote on the upcoming budget. So the upcoming budget is based on what you've spent last year. Your previous treasurer, or if you're the current treasurer, you will give a report to your budget, to your board, and you guys will make decisions on who you're going to support, who you're not going to support, what your incoming salary is based on your members. That's why we want to have your membership way before September, that we will know how much money we're going to have as a club, and then you base your budget on that. It is strictly based on a club-by-club basis, other than you have to budget for the KI and district, and the $117 per member. Keep in mind, U.S. treasurers have a responsibility to get with your secretaries to understand that this is what the bill is, this is how many people we have. You are going to get the invoice for it, or maybe your president will, right? Depends who gets the mail in your club, I suppose. This budget has to be done early. If you don't do this budget early, your budget will be off for the entire year. So you as a treasurer have to get with your presidents, and usually it's a secretary and past president and maybe another member that you get together and do the budget. It's not super complicated. I don't think we have any clubs in our division that have like a super complicated, that have to use very complicated systems to do their budgets. I really doubt that. I don't know for a fact. But if you do have to do something like, what is it called? What's one system? Anyways, if you have to do an accounting system such as Oracle software, that you probably have a pretty giant club and you need some help, reach out. Do not reinvent the wheel. I'll show you, I'll give you the website here at the end of this presentation. There's already some extremely, very, very easy worksheets for your budgets. Very, very simple. It's not very complicated. If you can add or you can use Excel, you're good. All right. So these are the reporting expectations. So you should be having at least a club board meeting once a month. The treasurer should report on the club account status. This is typically past month, obviously, and you should be reporting on the previous month activities to budget, and then your year-to-date activities to budget. Very simple. If you guys work with Excel, there's basically 4 columns: your budget, what you've spent, the balance. Very simple. Very simple. International has very, very simple worksheets for you. If you do not have one now and you want to reinvent the wheel, don't do this. This has already been done for you. We're getting to the end here, and we're going to be done pretty quick. And I said 45 minutes, right, Ken? Right. Tax forms. Very complicated if you're not a tax attorney or an accountant. There's a couple of accountants here, apparently. So I took this straight out of the Kiwanis Leadership Guide, page 44. And I can read it for you, or I can just tell you, please, please, please file a 990. This has to be done. This has to be done. If you don't do it, there could be some penalties for your club. There's the website to go to, Kiwanis.org, Form 990. They show you exactly how to do this. If you have not ever done this, you've got to do this immediately before you get a big giant fine. This is very important. Last one. So this is new. This is Form 8976. This was just not too long ago. So this form is basically, I took this from the Kiwanis Leadership Guide, page 49. Do I need to file Form 8976? Don't ask me what that form is. I do not know. I am not an accountant. I'm not an IRS agent. So this form apparently is something new. And if you look at page 49, it'll explain what happened in 2016 that the IRS came out and told us that we have to do this. Basically, this is the question. Did your club file tax documents such as a 1099 prior to July 8th, 2016? If your answer is yes, you don't have to do this. If your answer is no, you need to go and fill this form up immediately. So if you are a very brand new club, you had 60 days to fill this form out. If you have not, go to kiwanis.irs and they will show you exactly what to do. It's not very difficult at all. All it is, it takes time. And when I say time, I mean 20 minutes. You have to do this. This is another requirement. This is not that new, but 2016 is kind of new. Nobody had any comments, and I think I told everybody yesterday who was on the secretary's one that took quite long, because secretary's training is very, very complicated, very, very. By the way, I do have to say this. I know treasurers work very close with their secretaries. Buy them a beer once in a while. They work hard. They support your club a lot more than you think, unless you've been through this training or unless you know exactly what they do. They're very important to our clubs, extremely important to our clubs. I sat through that training yesterday and I was like, oh, yikes, there's a lot that they do. And I even asked, my question was, how long does it take to do this? The answer was, well, about 20 minutes a month or whatever it was. And yeah, they need a lot of support. Go shake their hand, go buy them a soda, go buy them a beer, go buy them their favorite adult beverage. They really do a lot of work for our clubs. And so do you guys. But fortunate for us, our training is very, very short. It's very simple. Your main responsibility is take money and pay money and record it and report on what you brought in and what you sent out. That is the basics of it. There's a lot of stuff in between, but that's the basics of it. Anybody have any comments? Anybody want to share a story? No?
And Marco, I looked up the bylaws in relation to the club review, and I can just read it real quick for you so that we're all on the same page. So to perform the annual financial examination as stated in the bylaws, section 8.3, this club has a standing financial review committee. So you can use either an outside CPA firm or a standing financial review committee composed of 2 or more qualified club members, excluding any board members. Selection of the members will be determined by vote of the club board. Asterisk, qualified club members are those in good standing with the club who have financial or accounting experience. So this is bylaw policy F. Your individual club may be different, but this is pretty much what, if you haven't modified it, this is what your club can operate under to do your audit that is called for in the bylaws. Back to you, sir.
Perfect. And that's it. That's it, you guys. It's short. You're going to get back an hour, a little bit more than an hour of your time. I appreciate everybody's time.
Marco,
This is.
let me
Yes,
raise
sir.
another question that may come to new treasurers in particular. The issue of service dollars applications, fine. One variation on that theme has to do with the liability insurance, which can be paid. And I've really forgotten whether it's all or in part out of your service budget, because liability normally comes into being because of service activity. On the other hand, some clubs, ours certainly has done this. We have said, as long as we are able, we're going to pay for liability insurance out of our admin expenses. We're going to maximize the amount we give to service. But there's a little leeway there, something you can play with if it's advantageous to the club. And perhaps the other thing is that the other item is that it's certainly permissible to pay out of the treasury funds, your service funds, expenses associated with your fundraising. That does not raise questions. Sometimes what you define as your expense might raise a question that you tussle with.
Do you have a specific example of what happened in your club?
We in terms of the going to interpret, we were publishing a booklet on club activities intended to get potential members excited about being a part of Kiwanis. And the expense of putting that booklet together was suggested could be borne by the service budget, because new members and a growing club would serve service. I'm not going to tell you how we came out on that one, but to me, that is there are two. You need to be careful. You need to be sure you know what you're doing and how you're documenting what you're doing.
You do.
Sounded like an administrative expense because it had to do with building membership. That would lead you to say, no, it's an admin expense. That's what it is. On the other hand, if you extend that and talk about what gets done because of what you're able to attract in the way of interest in your club, conceivably that would lead you to build some of those expenses into what goes on in your fundraising service, fundraising activities.
Excellent point there, David. Marco, Miles has his hand up. He has a question.
Howdy. This is new club question, but what's the recommendation on who's on the bank account? Because we're going to be establishing a new one of those. Do we tend to see the president and secretary and the treasurer on that, or how does that typically operate?
That is determined by your club. Usually it is president, treasury, like we're starting as government here. The treasurer and someone else, either a past president or it could be somebody on your board. That's the way that I know to do it. Ken, is there something specific? I don't know if there's anything specific that says exactly who should be on there, but I know that it's definitely the treasurer and the president.
I would encourage your club, your new club, to establish a policy. My home club, immediate past president, president-elect, vice president are all on it. So that way, every year, one person drops off and one new person gets added on, and then you have continuity throughout the entire year. And that's actually what we're trying to do with the district now.
That's how we have it set up. So if you're starting a new club and you are the new treasurer, my recommendation would be exactly that. Have at least 4 people, because there would be some redundancy there, and redundancy in finance, as everybody knows, is very, very good.
Thank you.
So this is a checklist that I found on, and I'll show you the website again. It's KI International, and it's the training for treasurers. We've gone through all of these. Oops, sorry. So this is what you have to do before you start, and this is right now, we are in that process right now. Meet with your president-elect, your outgoing treasurer, if there is one, to establish and get the responsibilities of you, what they expect from you. Attend the budget meetings. Again, we talked about this before October 1st.
Marco,
your monthly duties. This is a very...
Sorry about that. I thought you took a pause there. Derek has raised his hand and he has a question.
Are you ready to move forward, Marco, or do you want to finish what?
No. Go ahead. Ken, thank you for monitoring that. I can't see it on my end. I think I split screens, and I didn't want to do that, but it's okay. Thank you for monitoring that.
You got it.
So my question is regarding our admin account. A previous treasurer did not file the annual 990s. And so we have actually had our 501c3 status revoked. So I am in the process of trying to get that reinstated with the IRS. And I have to provide a copy of our corporate documents, which we cannot find. Does Southwest District keep a copy of that?
So I think you're the one who put the question into the chat box.
Yes.
Clubs are 501c4s, foundations are 501c3s. You referenced a foundation issue. I would contact Pat Irvine.
It's not our foundation. It's the admin one that was
It's the
revoked.
admin. Okay. We don't have those documents. Contact, you're in Arizona, right? Contact Arizona Secretary of State and
yeah, they don't even show it registered.
So is your corporation defunct now?
According to the IRS.
What about the
give me a call. Let's chat about this. Let's chat about this after the meeting. I think we need to we need to work on this. And
Ken?
let me see what we need to do to figure it out. I do see BK having his hand up, and he does have a question.
I have two comments, if I may. One, you brought up about signatures on the check. I would highly suggest that you have two people involved with every check. One person requests and puts it in as a request, a formal request, and another person, not the same, signs the check. And that way you have somebody requesting the funds and somebody authorizing the funds. Second is on your financial reviews, all the way back from when I was governor up through a very simple way, unless you have a complex club like Carefree or Prescott or somebody else that's involved in Meg or Albuquerque that has a lot of monies passing through. A very easy way to do a financial review is to coordinate with another club, and your treasurer and your person audits or reviews theirs, and they review yours, and you can do it at the same location. If any questions come up about paper or anything else, you have it fully documented, and you have somebody signing off on the complete review, and they understand what's supposed to be looked at. And then you may have to have a follow-up meeting if there's questions that arise.
All right,
That is a terrific way to do it. That is very good. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure. So Sharon has a question in our chat box. Her question is, can you pay the liability? So $17. Okay, I'll read the question, then I'll clarify. Can you pay the liability insurance of $17 each out of the service account? Technically, it's $13 for liability and $4 for directors and officers insurance. Yes, a reimbursement from the service account to the admin account is now allowable because it furthers service. Okay, and then the other question, this came up also from Michael. What are the rules for raffles? And are there rules for honorary membership? Okay, let's go with the first one. Raffles. Southwest District requires permission for raffles if you answer yes to one of three questions. Question number one, is the raffle ticket $10 or more? If you answer yes, Southwest District must give you permission. Contact your Lieutenant Governor to contact the governor. We'll put it on the board agenda and discuss it. Question number two, is the value of the prizes $1,000 or greater? If you say yes, you need permission. If you say no, you don't need our permission, go ahead with it. Question number three, are you going to raise $5,000 or more? Yes, district needs to give you permission. No, you're free to do your raffle on your own. So if you answer yes to any one of those three questions, the district must give you permission. If all three of those are no, you're free to do your raffle. The rules for honorary membership. These are, that's at the discretion of your local board. They don't get any Kiwanis rights, memberships, magazines, anything like that. It's just your local board saying, yes, we want to honor this person as an honorary member. They don't get entered in the system. It's a good way to maybe try to bring people into the system, but they don't get entered in the system. They don't get charged any fees. They don't get charged any dues. They don't get a magazine. They're not covered by insurance. They're just that. They're an honorary member. I see Debbie raising her hand. Debbie, go ahead, Marco.
And they don't get counted as a member.
Correct.
I went through the reinstatement process a number of years ago, and I'm not positive, but I think I had to get our charter and things from Kiwanis International. So they I think have copies of the Kiwanis International of your charters.
They will have your charter, but they will not have your organizing documents, which you're going to have to get from the state.
Okay, well, maybe I had those, but I know I'm pretty sure I got my charter from KI.
Yeah, you can get the charter from KI, no problem there. But the Arizona State organizing documents are going to have to come from the Secretary of State.
Okay.
And related to your question, your answer on honoraries, we played that both ways. There is a Kiwanis International honorary member status, and it does cost the price of the subscription to the magazine, which lasts for 1 year. And unless you specifically continue to arrange to have that paid for somebody that's continuing as an honorary member, you need to track that expense. On the other hand, as you say, nothing keeps us in our own plans and programs from naming somebody an honorary member. They do not have that status. They're not recorded in the KI records for your club, but you know, you're achieving what you want to achieve, whatever that may be, when you name that person. But there is formal honorary membership in the KI system.
I thought they had eliminated that. I'll have to check into that. But basically, they just don't count for anything other than you have named them an honorary member. Yeah, they don't count. They don't count towards. They don't count towards membership. They don't count towards growth. They're a club's ability to honor somebody as an honorary Kiwanian.
Very true, but they do show up in the secretary's membership roles. They don't show up as members, they show up as honorary, but they are popping up for the secretary every time. If you were to run your entire roster, you would be getting people who are honorary members if you did it through a national. If you did it on your own as status, awarded them whatever certificate you wished, then of course that never shows up anywhere except for your own record.
Excellent. Thank you.
Move my head, it's part of my head. It's just locked.
All right, Marco.
Ken, if I can, I'll offer one other comment. The one advantage of registering them with Kiwanis International and paying the $8, if you want that person to receive the magazine and possibly look at getting them as a member in the future, that's the single advantage.
Correct. Back to you, Marco.
That's it. That's all I have. Did you guys see my last slide? If you guys want a copy of this PowerPoint, send me an email. I think I can put it back up. I think it was just not very good. It was not very nice to me today. There it is. Can you see that?
Perfect.
You guys can see that. Take my email address, send me an email. I won't be in the office until about 11 tomorrow. I've got to be somewhere in the morning, early in the morning. But send me an email if you want to get a copy of this. You can share this with whomever you want to. This is not my thing. This is what I put together just for this. And Tony, Governor Tony,
Yes.
if you have any closing words, if anybody has any more comments, now is the time to speak up.
Well, if there's no more questions.
This has been the quietest group in the last 3 days. And I sat on all three of them. And you're right, Ken, when we started, these guys are serious. They're accountants. There is no, I was going to put jokes in between there, but then I took them off because I knew who my audience was. And I don't think you guys would appreciate it because I love dad puns and dad jokes.
Well, thank you.
Again, crickets.
Thanks, Marco. You did a great job.
Hey, I will say one. I will say one joke. One joke. Just one. When do dad jokes become? When do jokes become dad jokes?
Got me.
When they become a parent. When they become a parent.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Those are the kind of jokes that I was going to put in between slides, but I decided not to. So you guys should be thankful
Well, you
because I know they're
should.
corny.
Thank you, Marco. And thank you, everybody, for being here for our third night out of 6 that we are doing all of the education. But if there's one thing that we've learned, and I think we all know that people are very touchy about their food and their money. So it's best to go ahead, especially with your, as a treasurer, be very transparent with the club. Let them know what's going on, because this way here, it deletes any problems in the future about money. So with that said, I appreciate everybody for showing up. And then also please tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Arizona time, 7 p.m. New Mexico time. And we are going to have Governor Don be our presenter, and he's going to be talking about conflict resolution. So that's something you don't want to miss. And we're looking forward to seeing everyone. So I'd like to say thank you. Once again, we were less than our 2-hour time minute. We know that we're trying to do everything as possible to make this convenient, and we know time is precious. So we appreciate you showing up. We appreciate you being a part of it. And we thank you all, and have a great evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Tony.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.